Welcome back to the workshop.
Welcome back.
This week we're fixing our failures.
So let's get into it.
My name is Oliver and this is my dad, Andrew. He's a wicked engineer and my next door neighbour. We've always wanted to build a car together and make your own gear knob kit. There you go.
This might take a while.
Building a car and making memories with my dad. One of one. This is Project Mosquito. So last week it wasn't the pedal box that failed, it was us, wasn't it?
A bit of a debacle.
Our first design worked, it pulled both pins, but it was very heavy. And pulling on the end of the cable, I had to pull really hard, which even with a lever, it needs to be light enough for Miriam to kind of pull with two fingers and it work.
Yeah.
So we changed our design and then it's really easy to get frustrated.
You get bogged down and then before you know it, you've started making it more and more complicated.
And we ran out of time to make this work properly because of our first thing. And when we film these videos, because we make them weekly, we've only got so long to do stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it kind of just ended up as a bit of a mess. And that's why we felt at the end of last week's episode like we had failed.
Yeah.
So we're going to try something new.
Yeah, completely different now.
I really like this design, and I think this design could have worked really well. But Dad's thinking is that centre pull brakes gave way to V-brakes. And his logic is really sound. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Trying things, seeing what works, seeing what you like, you know? Experimenting, bit of fun. See, it's really easy when you're doing something like this to get bogged down in results. Especially when you're filming it and making a video. You want to make progress all the time. Progress. But sometimes you forget to have fun with it. And that's what kind of happened last week. It all became a bit too serious. It's a danger in life, isn't it, taking yourself too seriously? We want our cable to go through 90 degrees and still pull. So we're going to use this. This is a noodle.
We've got 15 mil, I believe. Yep, 15 mil of travel on both, so that's 30 mil. So these need to be at least from there to there 30 mil apart.
If you're going to be doing a job like this, I said this in last week's video, but I edited it out. Get yourself some cable cutters. These are absolutely fantastic. And they cut a cable and keep it round. They're lovely. Oh yeah! So we've gone from early 90s mountain bike tech to mid-90s mountain bike tech. Just goes to show when you're in the right mood, right headspace.
Yep, what a difference. It's actually, it works better, it takes less effort to retract the springs, and it's lighter because we've got rid of this.
Yeah.
And replace it with that.
Yeah, it's twice the travel as well. So we know we are completely retrieving our pins.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hit the stop at the back.
Yeah, because that was the thing with the last design. It just wasn't quite long enough travel, so we weren't sure that we were retrieving our pins all the way out when we pulled them out. So when we made these rails originally, you'll notice that there are screws on the outside, there are screws on the back, and there are actually screws on the bottom. And the reason for that is inside you've got 3 pieces of plastic, and you want the 3 pieces of plastic to get pulled in their respective directions, and then that way it all slides smoothly. Unfortunately, we then drilled it on the outside here and put bolts through. And when we've tightened those bolts, what it's done to the rails is this. It's kind of cambered them out. So what we now need to do is we need to drill it on the inside here and basically do this, but on the opposite side, so that it then pulls the rails square.
Yeah, it makes them so they can't move out, in or out.
Yeah. Don't forget, if you watch these videos right to the beauty shots at the end, to leave a Mosquito at the end of your comment. It massively helps us to know how many people are watching all the way to the end and stuff, and it's a good way to show off as well. And for those who suggested making it motorised like a modern car, the whole point of this thing is that it doesn't weigh as much as a modern car. So we're trying to keep it as simple and lightweight as humanly possible. After all, we have a maximum weight limit.
Yep, of 620 kilos. That's a dry weight.
Yes.
But obviously we can get it less than that.
We will.
Even better. We're not putting a clearance hole in the nylon here. We're basically going to put a thread all the way through the aluminium and through the next piece. So it literally locks all 3 pieces together. There's no sideways movement because there's no clearance. So that way it basically locks this to the aluminium to the other piece of nylon. It's a bit tight. No, it's gone like that.
Go on, you good. Smooth.
It is smooth, there's no play in it.
Check this out. And that is what we didn't have time for last week. These locks haven't fundamentally changed since last week. Yes, we've changed the cable pull mechanism, but that's not even attached.
Yeah. All we've done, we've basically fastened the side runners down correctly as it should be, so that they're perfectly square. Now they're held in position, they're tapped all the way through, so they literally cannot move. There is no clearance at all. The bottom screws are threaded all the way through from the edge here, all the way through into there. So these are now firmly clamped down. Everything's it's silky smooth.
We've deburred all the holes, we've removed all the friction from the, excess friction from the runners. You want a little bit.
Yeah, obviously you need clearance. If this will any tighter than it is, on a different day when the temperature were different, it wouldn't move.
Yeah.
Or it would become slack. On a hot day, obviously, it's up that the aluminium is going to expand, so you need enough clearance in the side runners to allow for expansion. Obviously, it's going to be in a hot cabin.
But we just needed enough time to get it just so. It didn't need conical pins, it didn't need, you know, it didn't need any of that stuff. Like we said, engineering, there's a million different ways to skin a cat. That's what's so cool about it. But all we needed was the time to get it just right.
Yep.
So we've still got some work to do yet, in that we need a foot plate to go on here to cover up our master cylinders, because that's what you put your feet on. And we need a throttle stop and a clutch stop.
Yeah.
And then after we've got that in, we can start making, well, we can start making it look pretty before then, can't we? But now it's a functional slidey thing. Now we can do all the rest of the work that needs doing. But we have to plan ahead, because we don't want to drill out where we need holes for fixing things. Like we need a triangular bracket on here.
Yeah, because what we're going to do is the clutch dead pedal, you know, your clutch footrest, is going to be fastened to here, but it's also going to be part of the top cover. So it's going to be fabricated out of aluminium. But we need to get the clutch stops first, so we need to put the master cylinder back on.
Yeah. Oh, and we also have our spring to put in.
Yeah, the return spring for the slider.
Never had that happen. Oof! Look at that. Let go and shot back on that.
Yeah, you're never going to need more than that.
No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this angle grinder right here. I'm going to put it right there, and we're not going to use it. And it's going to be there the entire time you type your comment, just to annoy you. We want to do the throttle stop when we do the throttle cable, yeah? We're not going to do that now because we need to order a throttle cable. But we'll do the throttle stop the same way as it is on a throttle body, like this. So it has a built-in stop. It physically doesn't go any further, right? So we'll do it the same way and we'll mirror it. So now what we can do is make our mounting for the retracting of the pedal box, so that when you pull the cable, the pedal box comes forward on its own. And to do that, we're going to use a big scary spring. We will put a stop in it as well. Don't worry. We'll put a stop in each end, so that if you keep it held out too long, it doesn't go shong and catapult its way into the driver's seat, because that's a bit too much like a James Bond gadget. That.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, to pull the pedal box, just simply pull the cable. Bring underneath and mount it to there. Because in its rearmost position, just slide it back. Because in its rearmost position, that's miles away from that. So just make a window. Because this cable then can actually sit flat, can it not? Like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we can put this under there, like that, mount that to here.
Hang on.
Well, where's our centre mark? Our centre mark's there. There's room with no bolt in it, so we could actually put our bolt exactly on the centre mark underneath that point. But that works, yeah?
Yeah. Good thinking.
I found another spring as well.
Well, might need to. Oh, it keeps locking in.
I know. The satisfying click, that, isn't it?
It is.
I do believe we're going to need more spring wax. I don't know if I've mentioned this earlier in the video, but we can't use like a bicycle brake lever for pulling this cable because nothing I have in my box of stuff will pull more than about 15 millimeters of cable, and this needs to be pulled 30. So we'll have to make a little pull, like a choke pull on a Mini, or a starter motor pull on many old cars, my little 2CV included. But yeah, so while I'm at it, I might as well say a very big thank you to Andy Wood, who is our Slicks Tier Patreon member. If you would like to be awesome like Andy and join our small group of lovely Patreon people and get an extra video, like a little extra short video, and any spoilers or any like deleted scenes that we have each week, and unlock all previous weeks, you can join us on patreon.com/oliverpickard. I think it's Oliver Pickard, or the Oliver Pickard. There's a link in the description anyway. You can click it and it's a thing, it'll take you straight to it. So yeah, and all of our social medias, well, all of our social media, my social media is down there as well. Dad doesn't do social media, or phones, or anything. Do you?
Nope.
You're lucky if you'll answer the door when you knock on it. We know this isn't exactly pretty. We'll make it work first, then make it pretty. Yeah, it wasn't pulling because it was galling on the centre hole. So basically, you had two springs. I don't want to call this video "We failed again." Don't make me call this video. Go.
Why is it so tight?
I don't know. So when it's under so much load, this isn't enough leverage to pull this cable. Go on. Oh no, we're losing peg. I've got it. Push it down, that's it. There we go.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah, if anything, we need to. So you see these sides here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're not touching. Maybe they are just a touch.
Well, they're not touching there, but I bet they are here. Because they're not. They're a bit far away from each other, aren't they? Yeah. Did you do that on purpose so that it pulls straight?
Yeah.
Mm. Yep, never soldered a cable end before. It was completely without incident and didn't set fire alarms off at all.
You got all the way in?
I think so. It's wound, Allen key's wound up way out, so the grub screw's wound out there.
All in? All the way?
Yep, all the way. You should just be able to do it by hand. Right, there you go.
That's it.
Yeah, not quite. Definitely need some stronger springs, don't we?
Yeah.
Right, go on, pull.
That's it.
There you go. Yeah, you need to put your feet on it to push it,
Yeah.
to take the weight off the...
To take the weight off the spring.
Yeah. It just needs using.
And we also need to, what we need to do is make a stop from here that stops this coming all the way forward.
So that it lines up every single time with these holes. And we might put some stronger springs in here in the future, but for now, it slides, it locks. And that was our mission for this week. We'll do it again. I mean, that, you can't get better than that.
You can't fault that, no. Straight in there. And it's super simple, it's foolproof, and it's always going to work.
And next week, when we make it lightweight, it'll be lightweight. Next week, we'll make... Now it works. We can do a little extra fettling, but next week will be the making pretty of it, the making light of it, because let's face it, it's absolutely useless if it's pretty and doesn't work.
Yeah.
So this week, the priority was recovering from last week's.
Yep, get it all working, get it all super smooth. It locks in position. Obviously, we've got to put stops here and here.
Yep.
So when it shoots forward, it doesn't come, because at the moment it's just hitting these two nuts.
Yeah. And the last thing you want is hitting your nuts.
Yeah.
But obviously it's very difficult to push backwards and forwards when you don't have a proper lever and it's not bolted to anything.
Yeah.
That's the most difficult thing. I'm wrestling with springs and stuff on the bench.
Yeah.
But it does work. It does. Right. Is that just with your fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I told you it'd get better the more we use it. This is when we forget to film an ending because we're too busy playing with it.
Yeah.
Well, that from the jaws of the feet, we did it.
Yeah, it's worked out really well.
Yeah.
And we've kept it super simple.
It's a much better. This is a much better pull design.
Yeah.
That last one could have worked, but it's better for it.
It's better. Well, this one it's simple and yet it's super lightweight.
Yeah.
Which you can't get better than simple and super lightweight.
Yeah. Thank you, 1990s mountain bikes, for your contribution. But yeah, it's superb, and we'll be able to get noodles forever, because noodles will eventually wear out. So when this car has 250,000 miles on it, and we need a new noodle, we'll be able to get one.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it. It's super simple, it's super serviceable, and it's failure proof as well. Because if the springs came off and if the cable came off, it would all stay locked in place and it would all stay safe, and that is, at the end of the day, the most important thing.
And basically, it's almost maintenance free because
there's no wiggle in it.
You got to think the amount of times that this pedal box will actually move backwards and forwards in a year.
Yeah,
is very little.
Yeah.
So it's not a component that's constantly on the move.
No.
It's either in that position or that position, and that's it.
Yeah. And you're like, all right, it's difficult to do when it's sliding about and you're trying to pull it on a table and all that. But when it's bolted into the car, Merrim will just be able to put her feet on it, take that weight off these two springs, and it'll slide back towards her nice and gentle.
Yeah.
And we'll need to put our stops in next week so that it locks in that place at the end of its travel. We need to make it lighter, we need to make it prettier, but
it's worked out beautifully.
It's worked out beautifully. And next week will be even more. So make sure you tune in next week. If you want to tune into this channel every single week, then you can by clicking that subscribe button, which tells YouTube that you are interested in this build, in this build and that build. And that every single week you want a Mosquito video in your subscriptions box.
Yeah. And also, don't forget to leave us a Mosquito emoji in the comments.
Yes.
Even if you can't think of anything to say, leave it if you watch the video to the very end, just to keep Merrim happy, because she does all the beauty shots at the end. And leaves a little mosquito, because we'd love a big swarm of mosquitoes in there.
It's really satisfying, but also it helps. Like clicking like, leaving that mosquito, you know, when we came up with that idea, our comments tripled, and week on week it has shown an improvement in the people that are being brought to this channel. We came up with the idea because I realised how many people who were subscribed to this channel weren't getting to see the videos that they'd subscribed for, which was really upsetting. People said, "Oh well, you don't upload videos that often."
Yeah.
And I'm like, we upload videos every week, and so you are literally helping your follow subscribers and community members get these videos that they want to watch. So thank you for that. It really does help us. It helps us make the videos. It's not like a financially business type of thing. It's really nice to see when we work really hard to make these videos for you, that you get to enjoy them.
And it's nice for people that are thinking about doing a project, they've never done a project before, to know that you can do it. We've did the the most basic of tools.
That's it. Last week I said we have all the kit and we have all the knowledge, and we do, because there it is. There's proof. It works. No, that's it, isn't it? There's a million ways to skin that cat, but proof is in the pudding. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please be awesome to each other. A huge thank you to our patrons, our community members who like, follow, share, subscribe and all that jazz and leave mosquitoes. And people who...
And thank you for the super thanks.
Yes, the people who leave us super thanks, you're mega, especially Matthew, because he does it every single week. You're an absolute legend, sir. It really does help. We're a tiny little channel. Like, I know that there are channels out there that make a huge amount of money and that they're like business driven. We aren't. We are passion driven. We aren't trying to, you know, please an algorithm. We're trying to please ourselves and you guys. So yeah, thank you for that.
So welcome to Team Mosquito.
Yeah, please be awesome to each other, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.